Okay, we are officially live. Welcome to an episode of Sports Vibe. I'm here once again with Andrew Rice. For the first time, streaming on Sports Radio America Network, YouTube channel, possibly the Facebook channel too, and our my YouTube channel, Sports Vibe, which we connected, prior to all of this. But I mean, yeah, no, this is episode 111, which I don't know, 11 and 111 in particular feels like an auspicious number. So I mean, it's maybe a lucky number for a big new platform and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's been like a few years of me doing this podcast kind of off and on, and kind of like pick back up again with Andrew over like the last summer and more so in the fall, and we kind of killed it, but we decided to just bring it back one more time, given that we were going to be on this network, so we kind of ramp back up. We did some episodes on the NFL playoffs, the college football playoffs, all that good stuff, which is one of my favorites. But yeah, no, now we're here, and it
What
should
a
be.
journey it has been, right? What a
Yeah, it's
journey.
been quite a journey. I mean, I started with Jitesh and Kapil way back in the day, a couple years ago. I've sifted through co-hosts. I've had guests on for the Just Vibing series. I've had, and more recently, I've done a couple episodes with Gabe. So it's been quite a long journey. More recently, Andrew, of course, doing our usual sports talk. A lot of football in the, last few months, I guess, the playoffs, everything, all that. But the Super Bowl, yeah. But now we're here, moving on to a new platform, and this one's gonna be a fun episode. I mean, we're gonna, I guess, briefly talk about the Winter Olympics. Mainly hockey. Recap that a little bit. We're gonna spend a lot of time on March Madness, which I'm really excited about. We'll talk about the World Baseball Classic a little bit too. Something that I like to do with Sports Five every year, especially around this time, is look at the NBA and NHL standings and how that's going on. So that should be fun. We'll probably end towards we'll end the episode on that side of things with NBA Stanley Cup playoffs. Maybe talk about some Rutgers too at right at the end of it. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to get this show rolling on the live stream.
Absolutely. You want to just start rolling right into it?
Yeah, I mean, why not? So the Winter Olympics, I mean, it's kind of in the rearview mirror, but I think the main thing, I mean, that I wanted to talk about here was the men's and women's hockey team winning gold in ice hockey. I mean, both of them on golden goals in overtime. I mean, against Canada 2-1, very similar. Megan Keller had the nice like deke move, got free and put the one in the back of the net, and women's team was rolling all tournament, and it seemed like Canada kind of like was able to play up to their level after the US won 5-0 the first time around. But this one was just like, wow. I mean, that was insane. And then the men's team, I mean, with both nations watching and everything, and a huge game. And I mean, a couple of things. I mean, Connor Hellebuck, the goaltender for the Winnipeg Jets, I mean, and for the US, 41 saves. I mean, he was just a brick wall. He saved multiple breakaway goals or attempts. He had a beautiful stick save, which was just, I don't know how on earth he did that, deflected it, and he really kept the U.S. in the game, because Canada, honestly, in a lot of ways was playing better, but the
They
U.S.
had a lot of open looks.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
had
they
a
were just
lot of open looks, but he was stellar in net.
he was stellar. He kept the U.S. in the game, tie 1-1, went to overtime, and then yeah, then Jack Hughes happened, and that was kind of sick breakaway goal. He had a nice assist from Zach Werenski too, who kind of did all the dirty work there, kind of setting up the play, boxing out the Canadian defender, and setting up the pass too. And Jack Hughes just buried it, and like, I mean, what a way for the
So
U.S. to
that so
win.
that begs the question though. What has he been doing for the Devils all season?
I have no idea. He was like injured with the glass cut or whatever for like the longest time, and yeah, no, that was really bad.
What
But
a
he's come,
what a
yeah, that's
weird
true.
injury. What a weird injury.
I know, right? It was like completely off the ice. Anyway, I mean, yeah, no, I wish he was doing more, but we'll talk about that later on. Actually, both the Rangers and Devils are like not doing well right now, so yeah, which kind of makes me a little happy that the Rangers are worse. But at the same
Hey, that
time,
makes yeah, I'm feeling great about both of those.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Devils have won 3 straight, so I mean, so that's pretty exciting. They play today, actually, the Rangers and Devils, at 3, so that's always fun. But yeah, anyway, I mean, other than that, yeah, I mean, the US, they did good in a lot of sports. I mean, Jordan Stolz was really broke out in speed skating. Breezy Johnson won the women's downhill alpine gold after Lindsey Vonn ended up crashing. They're strong. They won medals in moguls and curling. I think the mixed team did really good. I think the women's and the men's team, I think, also did pretty good. That's a really fun sport, very underrated. Figure skating, they won a team gold. Yeah, I mean, just a lot of medals for the United States. Ilya Malinin, who was like a big headliner on the men's side for figure skating, known as the quad god for his 4 revolutions. He missed the podium. He had like multiple falls. It was like a really bad performance, unfortunately, and like it shows like nothing's like guaranteed in sports,
Reminds me of
right?
the
Like,
nickname they gave, Saquon.
Saquon Barkley,
Saquon.
yeah, the quad guy, yeah, that is true, yeah. So anyway, I mean, Winter Olympics, it's in the books, but no, it was pretty good. I mean, looking at the medal table, Norway had the most with 41, 18 golds. The U.S. had 12 golds, 12 silvers, and 9 bronze for 33 total medals. Yeah, I mean, just yeah, like between figure skating, ice hockey, I mean, like so many different sports they did really well. I mean, and it's always nice to see all the it's always nice to see all the sports you don't get to see like a lot of the time, and like curling, bobsleigh, and those athletes. I mean, figure skating too. Like they work so hard, and it's nice to
I
it's
actually
see all
had
that.
an interesting conversation with some friends about the Olympics. You know, there are some sports that, like, if you ask anybody around you, like, do you know one person in your real life that plays curling? Like, everybody goes, no. So, like,
Right? Yeah.
it, it's like, then how do they get on the Olympics team? I don't know if there's like professional curling leagues or anything like that.
I
It's
don't
just something
know.
that
That's
I've
a
always
that's a
like
very
wondered.
yeah. That's a very interesting dilemma, I guess.
Like, I
So
even know somebody that was a competitive bowler, like a pro
yeah.
professional bowler, but I I don't I can't name anybody that I know that does curling, and I can't find people that can name somebody that they know that does curling professionally or
Yeah, I was
even
actually
in other
reading
different
like about the I think the mixed curling team, or like like it was like what Corey Dropkin and like Corey Thies, like, and she also does the women's team too. But like she was saying that curlers, like, I don't think they have a professional league. Like they do it because they love the game and they have like other jobs. Like I think the woman like Corey Thies was like a lab tech, and she doubled as yeah, I mean, so a lot of them, they do like curling, like, on the side, or like, so it's not like, but they should have like a league or something. I feel like that would be
Well,
like
it
a lot.
just
People
makes
would
me
watch
wonder,
that.
like, how do they get picked for the Olympics if there's no
Yeah, I don't
professional
know. I'm
league?
sure they have like trials, or like they're the best, in whatever. But like but yeah, no, I mean, Olympic curling, like, oh, curling's it's such an interesting sport. Like it's like, you might look at it and might think it's really silly, but there's like all these controversies about the double touch, and like about, it's like the ice sweeping, and it's like it's interesting because it's almost like a game of darts or like something, and it's like you're trying to get the other one, or not really, but like it's like, I don't know, maybe not darts, but like it's like it's almost like shuffleboard, or it's something. It's like where you or archery. I don't know. It's like a combination of all those things, but you're trying to remove the other
Archery?
pieces.
Where'd you get archery
I
from?
don't know. I'm thinking of the target, but it's basically like you're trying to like get your things closer to the circle, but you're trying to remove the other opponent. So like I've seen clips like from there where
I
they
think shuffleboard makes the most
maybe
sense.
shuffle.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I
if
think that one.
archery makes the
No,
most sense.
it's like when they removed the 3, like, I saw one where they removed, like, 3 different of, like, of the other color with one shot, and then their thing landed like towards the center, and I was like, whoa, like this is like, that's like mind blowing, but you know what I mean. So it's like it's interesting. So no, I mean, like, I don't know. I really did enjoy that. Yeah, Sweden won the mixed, you know the the gold in the mix, but the U.S. had a really good run. They finished at silver. Um, Yeah, I mean they, I think both the all the teams did really good. The mixed team did very good in that, and it was definitely very exciting. But I think the headline was obviously hockey. I mean, both the men's and women's team winning gold for the United States over Canada, and that really feels good. Like, I mean, like,
Hey,
like it's cool.
Canada, we stole your sport.
Yeah, yeah. And the women's teams, even the women's team, like was like losing sometimes to Canada too. Like they haven't won every year, but they've won more often. I think the men's
Oh,
team has been.
absolutely, because they've won
They've
titles in the
won
past
titles,
10
yeah. They've been
years.
kinda up there. I think they won in, like, 2017. The men's team has not won since 1980, since the Soviet Union's, like, the Miracle on Ice, and it
Historical
was on the
choke.
same day. So, yeah, yeah, I mean,
It's the Soviet Union's historical choke.
yeah. So the US has not won men's ice hockey gold since then. It's always, I guess, probably been, like, Canada, other teams, so, I mean,
If you
for
look
the
at the splits from that, if you look at the splits from that United States Soviet Union game, it's crazy because the Soviets had like 50 shots on goal and the Americans had like 18.
Damn, that's crazy. Wow. Yeah, no. There's a reason they call it the miracle. This year, though, NHL rosters, the Canadian team was like loaded. I mean, they had more. They had definitely had more skill, but the U.S. had more grit, I would say, and they also had a lot of talent on the ice as well. So, and a really really good goaltender. Like I mentioned, Hellbuck, Jack Hughes getting the golden goal. I mean, what a moment, especially as a Devils fan. Like, oh my god, like that was insane. Like I got to see that part live. Like wow. Like, I mean, that was just it felt really good. But yeah, no, I mean,
I hope everybody was up at 10 a.m. that Sunday
I
to watch
was. I
that.
actually, yeah, I woke up kind of late, but I woke up in time to see the overtime and whatever it's called, the game winning goal, the golden goal, the gold medal goal. Like I don't know, you could say whatever you want about it, but no, yeah, what a great way to go out for the States. And yeah, no, I mean, double golds for the men's and women's team in ice hockey over Canada. Yeah, great way to end the Olympics. I guess it's like, it's baseball's turn now on the world stage. I mean, and I kind of had this later in the outline, but I mean, I feel like we could just talk about this and then
Yeah,
we'll
why don't
go
we keep all
into.
the world stuff grouped together and
Right.
then we
Yeah,
get to
that's
the
what I was
American
thinking. And
Games
then we
stuff?
can get right into March Madness, which I do want to spend like a decent amount of time on as well. But yeah, no, I mean, so yeah, World Baseball Classic. So I mean, we just had the Winter Olympics, as I mentioned. Now we're into another world competition, the Baseball Classic. I mean, the U.S. again has a really good team. I mean, going to be led by Aaron Judge, who hit a 2-run homer as the U.S. opened with a big win against Brazil, 15-5, and some of the other stars, Cal Raleigh, known as the big dumper from the Mariners, Bobby Witt Jr., Paul Skeens, who's just like one heck of a pitcher from the Pirates. I mean, it's too bad he's on the Pirates, but like he's absolutely insane if you've seen him pitch before. I mean, like, so yeah, very lights out, a very talented roster for the States. I mean, Shohei Ohtani also opened up on for Japan with the Grand Slam, as their team's been rolling through as well. So last time it came down to US versus Japan, and Japan was able to get the win over the US to win the WBC. But this time, I mean, like, the US I think also has a pretty good chance as well. I mean, like, so yeah, I mean, Otani and Japan beat Korea 8-6. Yeah, I mean the games are kind of going on all over the world right now too, which is like interesting. But yeah, I mean,
I feel like no matter how this plays out, I mean, I don't know too much about the World Baseball Classic, but I feel like there's probably going to be maybe like 5 teams that absolutely stand above the rest.
yeah,
Japan, I assume, is going to be up there. United States, I assume, is going to be up there, and then probably some Latin countries mixed in there as
yeah,
well. Maybe
for
like
sure.
I heard
Pu-
Puerto Rico has their own team. I don't know how good they are, but
I think so. Yeah, Puerto Rico does. Panama. Yeah, a lot of the Latin countries obviously are pretty good at baseball. So like,
yeah,
right, especially like
they'll
yeah,
be in
like yeah, yeah. Cuba probably has a team in it too, I think, or maybe Venezuela. I know they have a team. Yeah, Panama, Puerto Rico has. Yeah, Puerto Rico has a team. Yeah, I mean, in terms of the top contenders, I mean, Japan, I think is going to be definitely one of them. The Dominican Republic has a very, very good team this year too. So I think that's going to be like one of the top teams. And then the United States. So we shall see. I mean, what happens, but I think it should be a pretty fun tournament. The U.S. is favored to win at minus 110 odds. And
Who's
then
right
Japan's
behind
at
him?
yeah, Japan's behind at 340, DR 380. Those are like the three top like favorites basically. So that's pretty much what I thought. Yeah, so I mean, look out for the three of those teams. And yeah, I mean, it's always exciting. I mean, in terms of like, Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt, like they have, a really terrific team. The DR, led by Juan Soto. I mean, they're definitely going to be pretty up there too. They have good pitching, like a mix of a lot of MLB players. They're definitely going to be one of the top teams. And then in terms of Japan, I mean, you have Shohei Ohtani. You also have, Yoshinobu Yamamoto on both on the Dodgers. I mean, you have a lot of good pitching, some good hitting there too. So they won the title over the U.S. in 2023. I think it was like it was Otani versus Mike Trout, and like everybody was like, this is like really cool. They were both on the Angels at the same time, and it was like, I think with the game on the line basically. So then I think Otani ended up striking him out. But yeah, no, I mean, I think this year the U.S. has a good enough team possibly to win. They also have really good pitching and really good hitting. And if Aaron Judge can get going, like I mean, which he already has, like I think that would be absolutely terrific as well. So get the U.S. to another world championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, you know, I, see, I think I had a joke with how the Dodgers are basically the Team Japan with Yamamoto and Shohei on
Mhm.
there, but
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, that is
I
true
lost it.
actually.
I had a good setup and I lost it.
Oh dang. That's too bad. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they both of those players on Japan. I don't know. Just like a sidebar on baseball. Like, I mean, I don't know. Wasn't it frustrating when the Dodgers won the World Series last year? Like, I mean, I feel like as much as like as a Yankees fan, like and like Toronto, but I feel like everybody was pulling for them. Like, literally, probably almost everybody. And the way that Game 7 went down was just like they had it multiple times, and they let it slip, and that was frustrating. And seeing like
Well, first of all,
Miguel Rojas hit the wait, do you remember all this or I
oh
don't
yeah,
know?
no. First of all, just
But also, yeah, all right, sorry, go ahead.
the Yankees are the bad guys of the MLB. Let's just put that out there right now. We're always going to
Yeah,
be the bad guys. We're always going to be the villains. The Dodgers are like the villain of today. You
yeah,
know,
which is also
we're the
frustrating too. But yeah, they're the new like villains, I guess, and the
we're the
Yankees are
evil
the evil
empire. They're
empire.
the villain of today. Um, I wish we would get back to being the evil empire. I wish we got back to being the team that had so much success that everybody hated it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, the Yankees are just stale. Like I mean, like winning 90 games, fizzling out in the playoffs, and Toronto absolutely lit them up too, which is also just like home runs. And yeah, I was really
yeah, and
frustrated.
it's not like they fizzle out in the playoffs either. Like you just said, it's like they get blown up in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
yeah, they beat Boston barely, and off the back of like one of their young pitchers. I forget who it was, but and then yeah, that was pretty much it. Like yeah, Toronto let them up. Toronto had a fun run, and Seattle did, and then LA was there to like ruin everything. It feels like, but like it was just like that was a good series too. If any team could have beaten them, it was them. And seeing Miguel Rojas hit the homer, which he hadn't hit in 2 months, to like I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I was just like, that was frustrating. But anyway, we'll see. I mean, the Dodgers are like a super team in like every single level. I mean, like, so, I mean,
Well, that's what the Yankees need to get back to. The Yankees need to just get back to not worrying about like the bottom line or whatever it is. Pay
yeah,
that
it's
luxury
them.
tax and just start spending again.
Right? Yeah, because I mean, look at the Dodgers. Like they have like Otani, Yamamoto, Sasaki. They got Freeman, Betts. I mean, they have some and free agency. They keep adding players. Like they don't stop. Like so. I mean, yeah, they're obviously a world champs for a reason. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
no,
I wanna
yeah,
stay the bad guys. I wanna keep being the villains, but I wanna be the villain that everybody fears
not the one that
from the Yankees.
yeah, not like a paper tiger. Like the Yankees are the bad guys. Yeah, I see that. They definitely are the bad. A lot. They definitely are the bad guys. A lot of people don't like them. So I mean, that's. I don't know. I like that role too. Like but I don't know. As a New York fan, like the Yankees. I mean, I like them. Outside of there, yeah, I totally get it. It's basically the way the Dodgers fans feel too. So or like people who don't like the Dodgers, you know, um, feel now about them anyway. So but that's a little sidebar in baseball. We're getting close to opening day, which is going to be like towards the end of the month. So that's fun. I mean, like and season feels like a long grind, but I mean, in the beginning it's kind of just like whatever, and then it kind of shapes up over the summer and the race. But it's a fun sport. I've gotten more into it over the years, but definitely this World Baseball Classic to kind of liven everything up, get everybody into that mode before MLB starts. I mean, I think that's terrific timing and yeah, high level competition. I mean, like you have the spring leagues going on, but this is going to be like, the best of the best, and yeah, they'll be ready to go by the time I mean MLB starts, and high level competition, everything. So it should be
Get
should be fun
everyone's
to
juice,
watch.
get those, baseball juices flowing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Get everybody back into the spirit, and everybody, but be good to go. And by the time end of March comes around, um, we'll be ready to go. Yeah, I mean, the opening day in the regular season. But I mean, yeah, that's gonna be a little later on in the whatever, but I mean, in the month, but definitely, watch the end of this classic. So I mean, U.S. I think Japan and the DR I think are gonna be the top teams, and we should have some good games going on later on. Right now, we're kind of still in the pool play, but yeah, I mean, I think we'll definitely have a good rest of the series shaping up for us.
Yeah. We gotta take the move into, college basketball now.
Yeah, definitely that. I'm gonna shift over to March Madness, which is, I guess, what I wanted to spend some time talking about. I think I could share my screen and we could just look at, we could like look at a bracket. But I mean, I guess, first of all, I mean, yeah, we, some talking points. The number one seeds this year look really strong. We have Duke, Arizona, Michigan. They all have really good records. UConn. I mean, the Blue Devils beat the Wolverines in like a game between top powers. I mean, Arizona has a really good offense as well. So does Duke. They have Cam Boozer, a really good resume. Michigan's been rolling through the Big Ten. So they have a very good defense as well.
Yes,
So
Michigan has been blitzing pretty much
yeah,
everybody.
everybody. And the way they started the
Yeah.
season, I mean, like, beating Gonzaga by 40, like winning the Vegas tournament, beating everybody, good teams by ranked teams by like 40 points was just nuts. And I was like, can they keep this up? And they kind of didn't, but they still beat teams. And, yeah, I mean, they're like 27-2. I think Duke is the same.
I mean, they still beat Illinois by 14, they beat Purdue by 11. It's not like they've been competitive in these it's not like the other teams have been competitive. They beat Michigan State by 12, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. They've
Nebraska
still been doing very, very like well. And, yeah, I mean, it's good to see. I mean, the Duke Michigan game was like a very exciting, highly billed one too. But that was like the one that they lost. But other than that, they've been doing insanely good. I mean, 28-2, and I mean Duke is the
Well,
same
first
thing
of all,
too.
props to Michigan for being a very good team and going out and scheduling somebody, and the same thing
Yeah,
with Duke,
that's what I'm
you
saying,
know?
right? Like having that game in DC, and I mean, it came on the same day as like Arizona versus like a conference game that was really good, 2-4. And Michigan Duke, I mean, in the middle of the season or towards the end, playing that non-conference elite on elite, and I mean that was just a treat for basketball fans to watch. And I don't know. I used to like, I guess before the whole Rutgers thing, like I used to like Duke, so I was still rooting for them over Michigan. But you're very happy about
Before the whole Rutgers thing, you went to college
I
there.
know, like way before I went to like when I didn't really know a lot about college basketball, I was like, Duke's good. They have a good crowd vibe going on, and like I saw like some sort of video where
Fair.
they, yeah, with the Cameron Crazies, and I was just like, this is pretty awesome. So, and they always do well. They send a lot of guys to the NBA. It's like Showtime. So like like you pick a team, you either love them or hate them. So yeah, I mean Duke's always kind of been like my like squad that I'll like I guess root for in March, which has kind of been painful last few years because they've ended up losing like later on in the tournament. But I mean in terms of
Are you
the
saying
one,
Duke's your squad that you'll root for in March because we never make it?
yeah, pretty much that. It really does. Yeah, it's like it kind of sucks because yeah, I mean Rutgers doesn't really make March Madness, I guess, but or they did a couple of times, but they fizzled out, and like now they're like nowhere near that. So no, it's good. It's nice to have like a good team, I guess, in a way. But I mean, in terms of the Big Ten, like I mean, Michigan looks really good. Yeah, I mean, like those are the ones. The twos, I mean, you have teams like Houston, who's been kind of in there, a very good physical defense. Michigan State, it looks like they're on the two line. That's always a very solid squad in March for the Big Ten, which is
You know
a
what though?
rarity.
I don't know if Michigan State's gonna be all that this year.
They seem a little shaky though, like the way that they've been playing lately. Like,
yeah, yeah, and plus, it is a great coach, but getting up there,
yeah, the way those Rutgers games went, like at the end, like I mean, with the Knights coming back again in the second one, and like basically they pulled out all the
First of
subs,
all,
but
if you're a ranked team, there's no way that you know Rutgers should be
that's what
taking
I'm
you down to
saying.
4 points.
Yeah, from my
No.
understanding, they pulled out like all they put the seniors on the court or something all together, and then Rutgers was
Well,
pressing
even
them
in
and
the
didn't
first
turn
game,
it
that
away.
first game went to overtime.
Yeah, that was the Rutgers basically had a win and they lost. And this one, Michigan State choked one up. So I don't know, like, that's why Izzo was saying, Pikel's a good coach. They made adjustments. They just weren't able to get the wins, but they really did struggle with that and with Rutgers twice, which is not a good look for a tournament team.
Yeah.
And then yeah, they've also just lost a lot of other games too, like against quality like competition. So they're still second,
It's
not a lot, but like they're still second they're in the conference, 25-5. Nebraska is up there 25-5. They had a terrific start to the year too. I mean the Big Ten's like very stacked this year, which is for Illinois, Purdue, they're all gonna be in this thing. I mean, like it's like a big year for the Big Ten. Looks like in basketball. They're gonna send a big field and having a team on the one line like Michigan who can really compete for this thing. Like, I mean, that really does feel kind of nice, even though like I'm not really a big fan of Michigan, but to see like one of the teams on the one line like that, that's not Purdue, like it is like a real like serious contender, like like I mean like yeah no
Wisconsin has been playing spoiler for
Wisconsin,
a lot of these teams.
yeah, that is true. Yeah, they're on the six in this bracket. Yeah, I mean why don't I just like share like this bracketology thing because I kind of want to go through
Do it.
some more of these things and just look at matchups, look at other teams, like look at how things are shaping out. So why don't I do that?
Take a look at this, before that. Wisconsin beat number 3 Michigan, number 11 Illinois, and number 8 Michigan State. They've been
Yeah,
they've been playing spoiler a lot.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
They have 3 ranked wins out of what? Like they
Yeah, I
only
see
play
that.
4 ranked teams this season and they have 3 ranked wins
Yeah, they
from what
flattened
I'm seeing.
Maryland too. 78-45. That's funny.
Maryland stinks.
Yeah, they're not great. Anyway, I mean, yeah, no, I mean, Wisconsin has been playing. They beat Michigan State pretty badly too. Like, so
Yeah.
yeah, they beat Michigan. Yeah, those are the two top
That could be a
teams.
team to look out for in the
Wisconsin, yeah, in
tournament.
March, right? I mean, definitely. Yeah, and I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. Looking at some other teams. Why don't I? Yeah, let me share the share
Yeah,
the
bring
thing
that
so
up.
we can see what exactly we're talking about. But all right. So you should be able to see it. Yeah, looking at this thing, Lunardi's bracket, like I said, Duke, Michigan, on the one, and St. John's I've heard is playing really well. I mean, they're right now on the 5 line. Alabama's on the 4. I think St. John's and the Hall just had a game, so yeah, I mean, that's pretty fire. Kentucky right now on the 6. Indiana right now looks like they're in a play-in or projected. Iowa State I heard is having a really good year. They're on the 3. As is Nebraska. Yeah, I St. Mary's. I mean, the West Coast Conference has always been kind of fun now that they have Gonzaga, they have St. Mary's. I think they have Santa Clara in the play, and that could be a 3-bid league, which is kind of rare for them the way that they've been playing. Gonzaga right now on the 3 line. I don't know. Gonzaga's always a fun team because they're like a mid major, but not really, and like I don't know. I like them a lot too. Actually, that's another fun team. It's not like Duke for me, but like I do like watching them. And seeing them succeed and go far. It's a cool team. You know what I mean? Like and yeah, they've fallen just short of the championship. I think multiple times, but you kind of it's been a wagon in both men's and women's this year. I think women's team is still undefeated. The men's team very close. So that's after last year's early exit, that could be a team to watch out for. Some of the mid majors that I think are very interesting here. St. Louis, and I mean they're right now on the 8 line. So I mean yeah, I mean that's a team that's they're a mid major, but they could play up with these better teams. They're 27-3, and they're ranked number 25. So I mean they're definitely getting the respect that they deserve over there. I think they have like one of the transfers from one of the other teams from a few years ago that everybody really. Oh yeah, Robbie Avila from Indiana State, and he kind of made his way a couple years ago. So I mean, like yeah, I mean they're a very solid team. I think the more interesting one than that is Miami, Ohio, in their case because they are 31-0 right now. They've kind of been scraping by like a lot of teams. They haven't really looked the most dominant, and they haven't had like the best schedule. But at the same time, I mean they've been winning. They've been winning basketball games. So I mean like they beat Ohio in overtime, and they're kind of like kind of like shouting back at the student section. But 31-0 in any sport is just ridiculous. I mean, they've won a lot of games just like barely, but they've also, they've won other ones pretty convincingly ish. And yeah, I mean, like I said, like it would be a shame if they didn't get into the tournament. If as an at large, even if they don't win the conference tournament, because I mean, like that's just unreal. And yeah, right now they are on the 11 line. I think they probably should be higher, but maybe not. I don't know. The thing about them is like teams like that is they can make it, and then if they get blown out like really badly in the first round or something, everybody's gonna be like, oh, they didn't deserve to be here. But like the
Yeah,
resume. I mean, I don't know. I don't really agree with that. Like, I mean, like I think if you win games, like that's the whole point. Like this can't 30. So many mid major teams get in on automatic qualifiers, and like
yeah.
if you're gonna say like you can't otherwise get in as a mid major after a regular season like that, then like what's the point of playing these games in the first place? Like I mean, I think once you won that many games, you proved yourself, and that could be a bit thief, potentially. But I mean the Red Hawks, like they deserve to dance. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely. 31-0. Come on. Like,
yeah, I
oh yeah,
mean,
they deserve to be in the dance. Like, are you kidding me?
uh,
Yeah, I would say they deserve to be in the dance. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. Like, I don't really know. I don't really know how you could really argue that at this point. So yeah, no, they definitely deserve to be in the dance. Other than that, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't really know like what else to say. Like if they yeah, if they aren't really dancing, then something's wrong. Something's seriously wrong. But I mean, other than that, I mean, I think that's a pretty good look at our bracket there. I think I just my computer like crashed out for a second, but I think we pretty much did cover it. So
One thing
looking
I
at
did want to point out, like, especially from a local area,
mhm,
LIU is favored to get to the tournament. Isn't that
that's
crazy?
exciting. Yeah.
Like LIU,
LIU, a little yeah, that is very exciting. It's always fun when the local schools get in, like, and I mean, we've had a lot of that success over the years with New Jersey schools like St. Peter's, FDU. I mean, both of them upsetting, I think Purdue and other teams. The 16-1 for Fairleigh Dickinson. The women's team for FDU has been rolling through their conference. They're set to return as well. So I mean, yeah, it's always nice. I mean, LIU. And then even sometimes even schools like St. John's, like that's a local flavor for New York, as well.
St. John's is a different story, but especially when you think about it, you especially as a fan of a high major team and whatnot, you think
Hmm.
about all the teams that get invited to come play at the rack just for Rutgers to smack them around and in
Yeah,
the
like
beginning of the season,
a little
like
non-conference
the
game.
teams
Yeah.
that we use to like gain confidence and whatever.
Yeah, 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 like
Then to
yeah.
see like one of their names like pop up
Right? Yeah, in March.
in the
Yeah, that is
tournament
always
conversation, it's like, oh, look at that. Good
right,
for you guys.
exactly. But then the problem is like we don't like it's like Rutgers might beat like those teams and then they'll be nowhere near the tournament, which that really does suck. But like even the women's team, like FDU, I was talking about like Rutgers, as bad as they were, beat FDU by 10 points earlier this season, and Rutgers just fired their coach, and FDU's gonna be dancing again. And it's like same thing with men's too. I mean, FDU, like when they made the tournament, they beat Purdue. I mean, that was like a really fun moment. St. Peter's, obviously, the run they made in these local schools. But yeah, it obviously sucks for high majors. It also does suck for lower majors too, because sometimes the resumes just get people in and kind of screws everybody over, honestly. So, like that's the frustrating part for me. It's like when the deserving, like yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. When it's on, it's sometimes it's almost like a brand reputation thing. So it's like neither like the deserving like mid majors get in, nor do like other at larges get in, and I'm just like what are we like who's gonna like you know what I mean? Like it's like frustrating because like the bubble teams like they leave out like deserving high majors and then they leave out deserving mid majors, and I'm just like, damn, like this really sucks. You know what I mean? To like let like a UNC in or something like that. It's like if it's
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So like I'm just like that's kind of frustrating because usually it's like one or the other. Like you know what I mean? Like you either argue for the mid majors or the high majors, but when both of them get screwed at the same time, like that's really no fun. But anyway, I mean we'll see if there's any controversies this year. I think the main thing's gonna be if they let Miami, Ohio into the thing. But I mean I think they kind of have to at this point, like with the
Why
undefeated
would they
record.
not though? Like
I don't
that's what I'm
know.
saying.
I don't soft schedule. They've kind of just I don't know. They barely won games sometimes, so they've kind of been getting lucky.
Miami, Ohio is 31-0.
There's
I
really
don't
no
care.
reason to leave them out, though. Is the thing.
Like, I don't care about no soft schedule. I don't care about,
Me neither.
31-0. Look at that, and that's
Yeah,
it.
it's like yeah, just point to that like as the record, like and I mean yeah, like the 11-6 is always a fun like upset heavy seed line thing. So if they are in the 11, that could be interesting because that's kind of like the final line before like you get to the weaker conferences. I think and usually they put kind of like. You know what I mean? Like 12 to 16 is a lot of auto bids. 7 to 10, there's a lot of upsets, but man, I really can't wait for this tournament to get going because like March Madness is one of the most beautiful things. Like as someone who loves college football, like more than basketball. Like March Madness is just it's just different. You know what I mean? I love the playoff. I love that the best teams for football get in and it's like a heavyweight fight, but there's nothing that can compare to like the excitement of upsets and buzzer beaters and brackets and games on all day for 4 days, the opening weekend, like, and higher quality down the line. Like that's just like elite, you know what I mean? There's just nothing like it. You don't have like tournaments like that. And the college football playoff is like, it's like, it was good this year. It's like conquest of champions, but March Madness is just like a
All
beautiful
right. To be
wall to
fair though,
wall
you have
coverage.
to no. You have to admit that Miami Indiana was cinema.
It was thin. That
That
one was
game
there was
was
some
cinema.
blowouts, but that game, the championship game was really good as we talked about previously. Yes, I agree, but like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that compares to like that opening weekend, especially in March Madness,
Fair.
and even the later rounds too. Like, it's just high quality basketball. It's wall to wall. There's games on every channel. There's upsets. It's just like it's just so much. You know what I mean? It's like you can't really match that with football because it just wouldn't be enough games and enough, like enough teams and stuff like that. And it's I don't know, it's just so much fun. And they really set it up really well every year. And it's just yeah, I mean, to have all those, the opening weekend, it's like some of the best days in all sports, just to watch college basketball all day and see upsets, see bracket busting, and all that good stuff go on. But yeah, that should be really exciting. Yeah, I mean, South Florida, that's another team that's on the 12 line. But those 5-12s, the 5-12s, that's a very popular like little upset thing too. Actually, now that I think
Hmm.
about it, and like yeah, so we'll see what goes on. And but moving past that,
So what
yeah,
I'm hearing is that play in LIU is going to win the whole thing, right?
yeah, I guess maybe. But no, not really. They're probably gonna get like smacked by 50 points, but like
You're trying to be civil, but you could just tell me to shut up.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna go well. That's yeah, like that's not gonna be great. But UMBC right now is projected to make it, but I guess that depends on their conference thing. So that
Hmm.
was the first ever 16-1 against Virginia upset. So that's obviously goes
Yeah.
down in the books. I've heard Virginia also has a very good team this year too, actually.
And
So
then
that
St. Peter's
yeah
was the second one, right?
yeah FDU. I think St. Peter's is a 15, and they beat like a 2, and they went all the way to the Elite Eight, which is like unreal for.
That was the crazy story. They went all the way to the
It's
Elite
not like
Eight.
just a one and done. Like they went all the way to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know how you like do that as like a team like that, but
You seen them play that year? That defense
they
was
were on
legit.
they were
Their
on
offense was
fire.
horrid, but they got in people's face the entire game.
Yeah, because they beat what? They beat Purdue. Purdue's like a big choker in those like things. Like
Well, that was the Zach Edey Purdue teams where the second that they would get in the tournament, they would start
right.
flopping
Yeah.
around like a fish.
Yeah, but I mean, you St. Peter's, yeah, going on and winning. I mean, knocking off Kentucky, knocking off Purdue. Like, I mean, yeah, no, they had a great run. I mean, like, there's just no, and then like obviously they lost to UNC in the Elite Eight, but it was just a terrific season. And I mean, yeah, like we've never seen that before, so that was just crazy. Like first 15 seats ever reached the Elite Eight in the tournament. So yeah, I mean, it's always fun to see those small schools. That's the beauty of March Madness. Anybody, like upsets can happen, 50 games on, and mainly upsets can happen and buzzer beaters and like exciting moments like that where small schools can, go ahead and beat, the giants in the sport. So, I mean, that's, we've seen Kentucky lose in the first round like 3 years in a row. So, like, I mean, it was just, that's, I don't know. Anyway, so, that's, moving forward, I guess I don't know. I always find that one to be funny. But I'm looking over at the NBA. I don't know. I definitely wanted to talk about this because like we're starting to get towards the postseason there too,
Well,
and in
being
NHL.
honest with you, Arnav, I don't really want to talk about the
Sure,
NBA
yeah.
because both of my teams are currently sitting at the bottom of the Eastern
I know.
Conference.
I was like,
So
I was doing research. I was like looking things up yesterday to like kind of get my I get ready for this episode and just like making the outline. But both of your teams are like at bottom. That's like
Yeah, like
yeah, and one of them's my team too. The Nets are on a 10-game losing streak. I mean, they're 15-47. The Pacers at 1 year after making the finals and maybe winning it if Halliburton was injured or not injured in game 7. I mean, the way they were playing, taking OKC, like, probably one of the greatest teams we've seen in a while since 7. They've fallen off the map this year. They're 15-48. So
how
both of
are
those.
we in a worse spot than Washington? Like,
Yeah, and I know you guys are behind us and the Wizards. Like, I don't know, that's brutal. It's just like tanking has just become a horrific problem in the NBA because
you know what? You know what?
the
Like, it
Kings are
sounds
even
weird to say.
worse.
I don't even know if we're tanking. Like,
I think you guys are just bad. Like, I think the
we're
Nets are
just
bad.
really
The Nets
bad.
are just bad too, and especially after. I mean, they waived Cam Thomas. Like, I mean, there's just no offense to be like, like found anymore. I feel like, but as it is, it's been kind of rough. But other than
Yeah,
like
0
sort
and
of
10,
MPJ,
0 and 10 in the
in
last
the
10
last
games,
10,
the
yeah.
Nets have lost every single one.
Yeesh.
With upcoming games against the Pistons, Grizzlies, and then the
Oh,
Pistons again.
great. So they're
So that's
playing the
three
top
more
tier. And
losses.
yeah, it's just like I don't even want to watch this team anymore. Like, I mean, they're just so bad. Like, it's just like I've like checked out. Like, So yeah, but I wanted to talk about the teams that are good and have a chance to do something this playoffs. So, I mean, looking at the East, it's a very interesting year. I feel like, I mean, Jason Tatum coming back in for Boston yesterday. As much as I hate the Celtics, I really did like seeing that. Like, but Boston's like they were not expected to be a serious contender this year without him, and
And they're not.
they're right there in the mix. They're second,
Nope.
42-21.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you
there's
right now, if I'm a Knicks fan, I am not scared of the Celtics at
no
all.
that
Not
that I'm
scared of the
not.
Celtics? No.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. Because they beat them last year, and basically they did a lot of the grunt work before Tatum got injured. They got those two comeback wins at the Garden, or was that the Garden? And then maybe one was in Boston, or both. Both were in Boston, I think. Yeah, yeah. That was the funniest part, like too. And I was at one of the watch parties. That was absolutely wild and terrific. But because I don't like the Celtics either. But in terms of Detroit, I mean, they look really good. That's another team the Knicks beat last year. I mean, they're first in the
In
East, and then
reality, Detroit is the only one that I think
I,
has a
I
sniff
think
at
yeah, at the
winning the
Knicks,
title. I don't
yeah,
think any of the Eastern Conference
from the
teams besides
yeah,
Detroit.
because the Pistons beat the Knicks 3 times in the regular season, so they've kind of flipped the script on them, and pretty convincingly too. They beat them 126-111. They beat them 118-80. So like, I think they kind of have their number this year. Yeah, with Detroit. I mean, they've really like made a they were like for the longest time, like like where the Nets were, like maybe even worse. Like they were like horrifically bad, like oftentimes, like really, really bad. So now they're
Well, you remember that
Cam
infamous like
Thomas.
28 game losing streak or whatever it was? They
Yeah, that was
lost
them,
28
right?
games in a row. That was only like 3 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, they've
Like
just
they
been
were
so bad. Like
horrid.
they've been a team that hasn't made the playoffs like for like I don't even know, like 10 years. Like it's like a miracle if they ever even get into the playoffs. Like they were like Brooklyn levels of bad, like but actually a bit worse. Like
I like how we use our own team as the benchmark for how bad other teams are.
yeah, I mean it's kind of like that. But I mean they were like like they were like Charlotte. Like I used to like call them like Charlotte Lottery because they were like always in the lottery. Like Washington, they were like that level of bad where they were just like not even like a play-in contender basically. So no, good for them. I mean it's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be between Boston, New York and Detroit for the East. But I don't know. I think the Pistons have really good shot this year. I
I
think the
don't think
Knicks, if they could put it together, have a really good shot this year as well. I mean that's a team that's playing
to
very good basketball.
if I was to break it down in like a percentage formula, I feel like Detroit has like a 60% chance to win the East, and both the Knicks and the Celtics have like 20% chances. I
Yeah,
feel
Detroit
like
looks really good. Like
the
they look
difference between
very very
Detroit
good.
and Boston and New York is just too wide. But I don't
Yeah,
even think it's going to matter anyway because OKC and
yeah. And the Spurs, they both look like head and shoulders
they
above
both
other
look like
teams. Yeah.
machines.
Yeah, well, the Knicks like lost to the I mean to the Thunder by 3, and like, they had a couple of chances, and at the end of that, I was seeing, but yeah, no, the OKC looks just as good as last year, maybe better. I don't know. I mean, they look like a very formidable team for sure. So, they still got all their scorers. They have SGA. They have Jalen Williams. They have all their guys. So Holmgren. I mean, anybody. He had 28 points the other night. So anyone can kind of go off there. The Spurs beat them multiple times this season. I mean, they have with Wembanyama, with Castle and Fox, and Dylan Harper, three guard lineup there that they can deploy. And I mean, you have one of the best top players in the game in Wembanyama, his skill set. You have multiple guards around him. They're a very dangerous team. So I feel like those two are like head and shoulders above anyone probably in the league, and that could be where this goes down. And you also have teams like the Nuggets. You have the Rockets with Kevin Durant. You have the Timberwolves who've been kind of knocking on the door for the West in the Western Conference too. But yeah, I think it's going to probably come down to the Thunder versus Spurs in the West. In the East, I mean, yeah, Pistons, Celtics, the Knicks, like that should be interesting to see who comes out of that, because I feel like the Eastern Conference playoffs, like I mean both of them, the Western Conference playoffs are going to be very good too. And seeing these, like I mean, you have the Lakers in there with LeBron, you have Steph Curry and the Warriors possibly gonna make it. And then you have like Kevin Durant's Rockets are very deadly. They have Şengün. They have like guys like that. Aman Thompson. That could be a very exciting, dangerous team. The Wolves and Edwards. Like it's fun. It's hard not to root for teams like that. I mean, they're a really fun team. But yeah, I think it's gonna come down to the Spurs, Thunder in the West. In the East, I think it's gonna be Cunningham and the Pistons. I think the Celtics, especially with Tatum coming back now, I think they have a very good shot. But the New York Knicks, like this is going to be like a make it or break it year. Like if you were remembering how things are going at the Garden last year, I mean, if they can take one more step, like New York can, like I don't know, like it could explode and go crazy if the Knicks really make this their year. They have a window here, and I think it's up to them to take it. I mean, yeah, it would kind of be nice if they did, honestly, like yeah, for the city. But they have an open shot. But I think Detroit's going to be the team to beat. Like like if for a while it was like, oh, is this going to be the team? Are they going to be able to keep it up in the playoffs and this and that? But I was not too sure. But like I feel like they're very much legit, and they're probably going to be the team to beat in the East. Like it's no fluke, like why their record is what it is.
No, absolutely not. But it is up to you, New York, New York.
Yeah, it's up to New York. Like I don't know. I'm rooting for them. Like I'm rooting for them to do it. Like like you can go all the way this year. I mean
I'm not.
they're close to get at least to the finals. Like they'll probably
uh,
get rolled, but like
I'm
they're
not.
close
I'm
to getting
not rooting
something.
for. I am not rooting for the Knicks. Not happening.
You
Nope.
don't think so? I don't know. Like
Nope.
I kind of like them in a way. Like and I'm so checked out from like the Nets. Like I just like I don't really care for that reason anymore. And I don't know, but. Yeah, I mean it's complicated, I guess. I mean, there's two teams that like I think are just like against Philly and Boston, like 100% I'd root for the Knicks. Other than that, it's shaky, but I like the city. Like I don't know. New York's like a Knicks
Oh, don't
town.
get
You
me
know what I
wrong.
mean?
I love the city. I just hate both teams that play in Madison Square Garden.
That's fair. It's funny because the Rangers I cannot stand. I cannot stand them, but the Knicks, like I don't know. I'm all right
But
with
the
them, I
but
guess.
the
Like I don't know
the
what the
Knicks are
difference
the
is.
basketball version of the Rangers. They're owned by the
Yeah,
same
I don't
people.
know
Like,
why the logic doesn't like flow for me. I don't know. Maybe it's my friend like who we went to all the games with. Maybe it's the fact that they ended up playing Philly and Boston, and they started like chanting all the stuff at them, and I was like, I'm on board with that, and I just got carried away. Like it could be a combination of those things. And greater hate for other teams, plus city unity. Plus, just having fun, I guess. I don't know, something like that. But Knicks, I'm okay with. The Rangers, I'm very much not, which is why in the NHL portion of this episode, like I'm happy that the Rangers are sitting at the bottom of the standings, below the Devils. So, but neither of these teams are like in playoff position. Even the Flyers are also not. So, yeah, I mean it's an interesting race this year. I mean, another team that's kind of fallen off, from last year, the Florida Panthers, after they won two cups, they're like kind of sitting in the cellar of their division. Toronto, kind of the same thing, usual playoff team. They're in the bottom of the division on a 6-game losing skid. Right now, Tampa Bay, even though on a 4-game losing skid, they're first in the Atlantic. Yeah. The Buffalo Sabres, usually not a playoff team, and the Red Wings, Canadians too. They're all kind of in the mix, which is very interesting because none of those teams are
well, Arnav,
typically
if you're
playoff
looking
teams.
for some local flair to root for in the
I
playoffs,
Yeah.
I have an idea of who you might want to go
Uh,
for.
yeah, the Islanders. See, that's the thing. Like, I feel like the Devils and the Isles kind of have like an alliance because they both hate the Rangers, and so like I don't really mind the Islanders like all that much. I'll root for them sometimes. Like when they play like Tampa Bay, like in the playoffs for years, I was like pulling for you guys for sure. Fortunately fell a little short, but yeah,
Twice.
I know, twice, yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
if there's teams that I hate, the Devils are not on that list. I hate the Bruins. I hate the Lightning now.
mhm,
Um,
yeah,
I
the like,
hate Toronto. I hate Philadelphia, and I hate the Rangers. But
yeah,
that's it.
Philadelphia too. Not a big fan, but it's not like the same as the Eagles. I guess it's like the main and the Sixers. It's probably like in Philly hatred, Eagles by one long shot. Two, Sixers can't really don't like them because they've been in the Nets so many times in the playoffs too, and they're also chokers. Flyers, I mean like they're not that great. Whatever. Phillies, I kind of like because they're in the other league and they're
I
fun.
never liked Philly, the Flyers, because of just the way that they play.
Yeah,
When they
they're a
had
little chippy.
who was that coach? 2 years ago, I forget his name, but they basically they were they it was basically a like street fight the entire game.
Yeah, yeah. And they called them like the Broad Street Bullies, like back in the day. So like, um,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
yeah,
they were more interested in fighting than playing the actual
yeah,
game of hockey. Like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, as the chant goes, Rangers suck, Flyers swallow, or whatever the Devils fans like say.
there's
During the game.
I
I think
forget
they have
who
an
it was.
Islanders addition to it too now, or something like that. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, if you know the
That's the very
Rangers
rare
suck,
one.
clap your hands. If you
Yeah,
know the Rangers suck,
yeah.
clap your hands.
I think that unites both of the fan bases too. So
Oh yeah, but there's
yeah.
this one clip of maybe it was Wallstrom, I forget, but he gets like sucker punched by this one Flyers player, and they go at it for a little bit, and then Wallstrom starts like pushing his head into the ice, like
Jeez.
that. If that's not the summary of what goes on between the Islanders and the Flyers, there is
Mm,
no other perfect summary, because the games don't end up being hockey games. They just ended up being street fights.
street fights. Yeah, no, it's crazy. And then
Yeah.
yeah, Flyers Penguins. That's a fun in-state rivalry too in Pennsylvania. But yeah, no, I mean, like, yeah, in terms of
Well, at
like,
least the Penguins are respectable. The Penguins,
yeah, they've
have
always been
were
like a
good
up,
for so
kind of up
long.
there. So like, yeah, they've been like kind of like a contender. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, with Crosby and everything, it's a fun team. But I mean, looking at
Malkin
this
too.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're a fun team, but I mean, in terms of like the Lightning, the Sabres, the Wings, and the Habs over in the Atlantic, the Bruins kind of hanging in there as well. Like I said, the Panthers and the Leafs are kind of at the bottom after both of them have been pretty good. In the Metro, man, the team I think I hate is probably the most because of the Devils is Carolina because they've beaten them in the playoffs multiple years now, and they're sitting at the top, way at the
I
top of the
find it
division.
so hard to hate Carolina though,
Do you?
because
They beat the Isles
they
too, right?
no, I mean not really. Well,
No, no, in the
they.
playoffs?
I
Or
find it
1
so
year,
hard.
I think. They beat the Devils 2 years,
They beat
and then
the Carolina beat the Islanders 1 year, but I find
yeah.
it so hard to hate Carolina,
Well, see,
because
that's a choke too,
what does
mhm.
Carolina do? They look like the big bad, hockey team. They sweep through the regular season, and then
The
when the
Devils. Yeah, the
playoffs,
first round,
muscles.
like
I was gonna say their muscles deflate. You know, their muscles made out
yeah.
of air completely deflate, and all of a sudden they're the
Yeah.
skinniest guy in the gym.
Yeah, they're basically like they're the NHL version of, like, the Sixers, basically, like, with the second round exits and
I don't
or
even
the
know if they're the
UCF
NHL
exit.
version of the Sixers. In all
Maybe
honesty,
not. They're to be fair, they're actually probably better than the Sixers because at least they've made a conference final. So, at least they like made it that far, I guess. Like they beat last year they lost. They got swept by the Panthers, which was like or did they? Or maybe they won one game, I think. But it was pretty funny to see that.
they
Like yeah,
won
after
one
like
game, I
rolling for
think. And
Yeah,
they
after
won
rolling for
one
the fifth.
game, and it broke a streak of them getting swept in the conference finals. Like, they got swept in the conference finals, like, their last 3 appearances. They won one singular game, and that broke, like a years-long streak of them getting swept in the conference finals.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I don't know, what is, like, wrong with them? Like, I mean, that's, like, my question, like, I don't
I
know,
think
like,
it's
it's
because they're made out of glass bones and paper skin. Like, I think they have a lot of injuries that
yeah.
pile up every year.
Yeah, because like, looking at these, like, these things, like, I mean, it's just like, okay, so you beat the Islanders 4-2, beat the Devils 4-1, lose to Florida 0-4 in 22-23. Like, I guess you just run into, like, a better team, I guess is what it is, like, then the next week
Oh,
they
I know what you're talking about now. You're talking about the years where the Islanders limped their way into the playoffs and then just got pushed aside in the first round. Like, yeah, no, I
yeah,
wasn't expecting to beat Carolina when we barely qualified for the playoffs.
fair, yeah, but it's just,
So
like, it's so weird, like yeah.
I don't really hate
No,
them
like,
for that
looking at
because I know we had no
that's
business
fair,
being
yeah,
there.
that year yeah, you're right, the Islanders weren't really that great those years, I mean, like, yeah, so
Not at all, no.
oh, but it's just like, I don't know, like, what we're doing here, like, what is this? What like, it's just like, okay, I mean, yeah, like, you beat the Islanders 4-2, Devils 4-1, Florida, 0-4. I mean, okay, you know what I mean? Like, you win the first 2 convincingly, then you get swept, and then the next year, beat the Islanders 4-1, lose to the Rangers 4-2. It's also frustrating because I don't like the Rangers. I was very happy when the Panthers beat them, and then the next one, beat the Devils 4-1, beat Washington 4-1. The thing is, neither of those 2 teams were very like, they did not the Devils and the Caps did not play good in those series at all, and, so they lost, and then lose
Yeah.
to Florida 4-1, and Carolina looked horrible, and I was just like, I was like, "Haha," like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, "Yeah," and then we had,
I
like,
feel like
yeah.
Carolina is just in the playoffs to expose the teams that shouldn't be there and then
Right,
just
and then
bow out.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. Because the Devils were just like completely banged up and completely not gonna make it. And the Capitals, like, despite having Ovechkin, they were not like a serious threat. Florida was, and we've had like great cup finals between them and Edmonton, and they just have a lot of depth and a lot of skill. So yeah, no, I mean,
Edmonton is super top heavy. Meanwhile, Florida is the better team.
yeah, they have. Yeah, you're right. Edmonton's more top heavy with McDavid, Draisaitl, and if Florida had the better. We talked about this a lot, but they have better. Yeah, better team all around. Better defense. Better, goaltender elite. A lot of goals. Different guys who can score goals. But this year, not, like, a lot of them are injured. This and that. They've kind of fallen off. But that was kind of the way they were winning. Anyone could score. Anyone can defend. They have Bobrovsky and that.
No,
And
no, 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 no. Oh, you talk about Florida. Okay. I
yeah,
thought you were talking about Edmonton for a second. I was like,
no, no,
nobody
no.
on that team can defend.
Yeah, yeah, but Florida they could, and they were a scrappy team, and I don't know, I like them. I like them. Yeah, they're a fun team. They beat Carolina. They beat the Rangers the other year. So, they've been a fun one. And they've taken it all the way and they've won the cup. So twice. But in the Western Conference over in the NHL, I mean, I don't know.
Colorado is just
Yeah, the
romping
Avalanche.
everybody.
They're way above and beyond anybody right now. But it could be a good year for them. They were one of the preseason teams to look out for, and they've kind of been in the conversation like recently, but they've kind of been a little bit short.
They're not winning.
Yeah,
They're gonna be the President's Trophy winner, and then that's gonna
yeah.
curse
I feel
them
like that's
one day.
happened before. They've won the
That happens
President's
all the
Trophy.
time.
Yeah, and then they like bow out in the second round again.
Yeah. They
The
have
Dallas,
10
yeah,
losses this entire season,
that's
but
crazy. They're
10
like a
regular
wagon. Yeah, right
10
now, like, wait,
regulation
yeah.
losses. 10 regulation losses,
That's
9 in
crazy.
overtime.
Wait, yeah, right now 7 points ahead of Carolina for that President's Trophy. So yeah, I mean, and then the Stars, they've always been like a feisty team. They've been near. They lost to Edmonton. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's a chance they break through. They've been kind of knocking on that door. The Wild, and something I wanted to note: the expansion teams could make the playoffs. I mean, you have the Utah Mammoth right now in a wild card. You have the Seattle Kraken, who's been in the league now a few years, right now in the other one, and looking at these two divisions, like the Central Division has teams in the 90s and 80s. In the Pacific, the Ducks right now leading with 73 points. And then the Golden Knights have 72. Who they've always been like kind of a team in the to make a run or
No,
whatever. And
I don't like Vegas.
you
Like,
know,
come on.
yeah, they just kind of came in and went to the cup final. Edmonton 68 points. They've always kind of been in the mix, but yeah, it's like the contrast between these two divisions. Like one of them is like kind of at the bottom, the other one is like like surging, you know what I mean? Like you have Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota right now. So I don't know, and the wild card spots, but I guess, you have the Mammoth in one, and you have the Kraken in the other one right now. So no, that's how the West looks. But yeah, it's probably Avalanche look like a solid, but you're right. They might choke up in the playoffs, and we could see them in Dallas potentially. Maybe I don't know. Who knows? But it's probably going to
Wait,
be out of
Arnav, you ready for this? You ready for this, Arnav?
yeah.
The Canucks have the same amount of wins as the Avalanche have losses.
Oh geez, yeah. Well, they have 45 points. They're not looking pretty. Yeah. That's terrible. The Blackhawks, I feel like they've been struggling for like the longest time too. So yeah. Yeah, bad hockey. But anyway, that's pretty much where we're at right now with NHL. It
Yeah,
looks like we have like a month left before the playoffs, get going for basketball and hockey. So it's always a good time. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Other than that, I mean, like I feel like we
I gotta
covered.
make my way out to the island.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was just thinking about that. I gotta make my way out to the island.
Where yeah, for like an Islanders game, yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Maybe I'll go for the Blue Jackets.
maybe. I feel like that would be a good time, honestly. I don't know. Yeah.
Most people don't realize how fun that arena is. Like they don't expect it to be like they
Yeah.
don't you
Mhm.
don't see a bunch of like clips on YouTube, but it's a fun time and it's a good trip too.
Where yeah, out to Long Island, yeah. Could take a couple trains and you'll get there, but
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, take the LIRR once you get to Penn. But like anyway, I don't know. We've kind of been rambling on for a bit, but that's pretty much all I got for this episode. I mean, I feel like we talked about a lot of things. The Winter Olympics, obviously, the World Baseball Classic, a lot of some bracketology, March Madness, and then of course the NBA and NHL landscape. Always a lot of fun to do that, especially around this time of year. And yeah, definitely for the first time. So other than that, I mean, yeah, I mean, this has been definitely fun streaming it on the new platform. Looking to, continue to do this, keep myself looped in on the sports world and everything, and bring our knowledge and just have a good time talking sports because it's a unifier. Everybody enjoys it, and it's a lot of fun. So there's always a lot to talk about with sports, as well, especially around this time of year where there's basketball and hockey and baseball and March Madness. So we'll definitely keep you posted. Next week we're probably I don't know. I mean, Selection Sunday. I think is like next Sunday probably. So I mean, like,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So we'll definitely probably we'll have definitely March Madness content for you next time. Probably some more updates on the WBC and everything else that's going on in the world of sports. But in the meantime, this has been another episode of Sports Vibe. I'm your host Arnav Sarkar, here with Andrew Rice, and we will see you next time.